with a full hour of World of Outlaws.
It was a season started with uncertainty for the World of Outlaws, but one with a special spirit seldom seen in years past. There was the feeling that everyone from rookie to the longtime veteran had a chance not only to win races, but win the prestigious title. This sense of encouragement endured throughout the season, ignoring mid-season hints of what was to come. High speeds and confined quarters were key ingredients for mishaps. Injuries interrupted the dreams of many.
I think I was probably at the top of my game ever in my career, so that's the part that hurt me the most.
Through all the adversity, success was abundantly spread throughout the field.
When it comes to competitiveness, there's nothing that matches it.
16 different drivers would make their appearance in the Racing Souls victory lane to accept winning glory. 9 of those 16 would boast more than one World of Outlaws win. Interestingly enough, the competitive atmosphere on the track didn't reflect such excitement at the top of the championship standings, as one man has a dominating lead for the crown. Tonight, the World of Outlaws roll into Las Vegas, Nevada to crown a champion and bring the curtain down on one of the most exciting seasons in the sport's history. It's coming your way exclusively on the Outdoor Channel. From the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, it's the greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws. Hello, everybody. I'm Art Ekman, and welcome to the dirt track at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the season finale of the World of Outlaws. There's one man that sits atop all the rest, Donnie Schatz. Not only does Donnie have 16 wins on the season, but he's got 48 top 10 performances, of which 41 of those are top 5 performances. What a great season, Donnie.
It has. It's kind of glad to wind down here. You know, Vegas is always a great place to end the season, celebrate a little bit. But we're glad to be able to have won the most races and hopefully win the championship.
The winner of last night's preliminary feature, Brooke Tatnell, has been on an emotional roller coaster throughout this season. He's with our Brad Doty.
Brooke, you went back to Australia to spend some time with your dad, who's battling cancer, and while in Australia, you picked up a ride and finished second where your dad got to see a race. You pulled off the win last night. Had to be a pretty emotional phone call back to Dad after the win last night.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, the highs and lows of the trip back to Australia, not knowing what he was going to look like, how he was going to be feeling, how he was reacting to the chemo. It was a pretty tough journey, but very glad I had the opportunity to do that. But last night's phone call after the win, every win is special. But to get back to the truck and give him a call and say, hey, we won this one for you, I mean, it really was heartfelt.
Well, it might have felt a little bit different to him, but he had to feel right at home pulling off that win. Back to you, Art.
As we go into the final race of the season, third place is still up for grabs. The 2 top candidates are with Johnny Gibson.
On the final night of the 2006 World of Outlaws season, third spot in the point standings still very much up for grabs. Darren Pittman separated from Joey Saldana by just 30 markers going into this evening's event. Joey right now third in the point standings. Last night, broken U-joint after warm-ups. Crew thrashed, got you out for qualifying. Not a great effort, but you managed to salvage a top 5 finish at the end of the night. How important was it?
Oh, it was huge. I mean, I could have just have been Darren Pittman and blown that U-joint up in the feature and cost me a run in the feature. So actually it was pretty good luck to blow the U-joint up in hot laps. So we'll take it and go tonight, and you never know what could happen.
Well, for Darren Pittman, last night a golden opportunity sitting outside the front row at the start of the main event, but a broken U-joint on the first lap put you out of it. How disappointing.
Oh, huge. I mean, we've spent the last 2 months, having a really good race car and felt like we've been kind of running him down, and, we just let it slip away. We had part failure, and it happened. So we've had very few DNFs, but, unfortunately it's not for first and second, but, it's still up for grabs a little bit, and we'll go out there and see what we can do and just try to finish the year on a good note and try to get a win if we can.
When we come back, we'll be talking with tonight's top qualifier and get to heat racing action. Stay with us. The World of Outlaws on the Outdoor Channel is being brought to you by Optima Batteries, B&W Custom Truck Beds, Advance Auto Parts, Eckert Pharmacies, and by PartyPoker.com. Welcome back to the dirt track at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, where qualifying for tonight has just been concluded. And the quick time tonight went to Donnie Schatz with a 14.173. It's about 127 miles an hour. Here's the grid sheet for heat number 1. Chad Hillier on the pole. Jeremy Campbell next to him in the front row. Titan Garage's Darren Pittman and points leader Donnie Schatz in row 2. Row 3, Jeff Hodson and Jason Martin. Bill Rose and Jerry Bray in row 6. Chris Schmelzley and Ben Gregg round out the field. Let's go upstairs now to the booth with Johnny Gibson and Brad Doty.
Thanks, Art. Action ready to get underway at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Chad Hillier on the inside, Jeremy Campbell outside the front row. Doug Clark waves the green flag, and we are underway. And look at fast qualifier Donnie Schatz trying to make the big move here in the first corner. Schatz already up to second as Darren Pittman fights with Chad Hillier in a battle for that fourth and final transfer spot.
And did you see what Schatz did? He went right up along the wall down the front straightaway, turned the car, and dove to the bottom, getting into turn 1.
Donnie Schatz moving up to second, trailing Jeremy Campbell by about a half a second as they complete lap number 1.
Racetrack a little narrow right now, Johnny. We talked there's a lot of moisture on the racetrack early. There's kind of a groove, but it's going to get worked up a little bit. Guys in his first heat race may have a little disadvantage. The racetrack not very wide.
Jeremy Campbell and Donnie Schatz running first and second. Then it's the 36 of Jason Martin there in the third spot, and the 21 of Darren Pittman in the fourth and final transfer position. They have cleared fifth place running Chad Hillier by about a half a straightaway as we complete lap number 3.
They did roll the top of the racetrack in before they started this heat race. It was pretty greasy up there early, but now it's not too bad. So again, they're going to start leaning on that top groove right there. As you see Campbell, they're going to move that up as the race goes on.
Schatz puts the right rear just above the cushion as they exit turn 4 and roll down the front straightaway. Jeremy Campbell out in front of this heat race. Very successful here back in March in his debut at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Ran second in a feature event. Equaled that second place performance in a World of Outlaws A-Main a couple of weeks ago at Wilmot, Wisconsin.
Out front where he wants to be, and he's moving around like he should be, trying that race car a couple different lines, but again, he doesn't know how far out front he is. It has to really be careful as you put that right rear right up there, get in a little too high, jump over that cushion, could find yourself into the wall.
Glimpse of Darren Pittman in the Titan Garage's 21, holding that fourth and final transfer position. Heartbreak for Darren here last night. Started outside the front row in the feature event, broke a U-joint rolling into the first corner, ended up finishing 24th in the main event. He is now 30 points behind Joey Saldana in the battle for third in the World of Outlaws driver standings. White flag flying. We are on our final lap here in heat race number 1. Jeremy Campbell works into some slower traffic down the back straightaway, sets the car for turn 4, comes out of the corner, and sees the checkered flag. Jeremy Campbell, the winner of heat race number 1.
Okay, guys, on the Optima Batteries leaderboard, the youngest of the meet 15, Jeremy Campbell taking the checkered flag, and Donnie Schatz in second. Jason Martin and Darren Pittman also going to the A-Main. The rest are headed to the last chance qualifiers as only the top 4 out of the heat races make the A-Main event.
Cars felt real good out there tonight. You know, we got the heat race win and hopefully do good.
The cars are already on the track for heat number 2. The front row finds Gary Lee Mayer and Joey Saldana there. And in row 2, Randy Hannigan and Justin Henderson. Row 3, Natalie Sather and Jesse Whitney. Row 4, James Mosier and Robert Ballou. And rounding out the field, William Hernandez and Jason Botsford. Take it away, guys.
Green flag about to fall on the second heat race. Gary Lee Meyer and Joey Saldana down to the stripe, and we are underway. Gary Lee Meyer, a good jump from the inside of the front row, but Joey Saldana goes right to the cushion to try to take the lead in the Curb Records car number 9. Meanwhile, on the move, it's Randy Hannigan in the 1X, gets to the inside of Meyer, and the Hurricane is up to second.
See Justin Henderson there. He won the Snap-on Challenge yesterday. He and his dad changed the engine in a little over 6 minutes in that competition yesterday. Great job by that crew to change that engine, going after Gary Lee Meyer, who had a great run last night. Came through the C and the B main before getting upside down in the A main last night.
Henderson to the inside. Meyer holds him off on the high side of the speedway. Battling for the third spot. Both of those drivers right now in solid transfer positions. Gary Lee Meyer in that Lubbock Wrecker Service 11X, pulling him down the back straightaway. Henderson ducks to the inside. They'll go wheel to wheel out of turn number 4.
Gary Lee Meyer got in a little high, Johnny. Got the right rear up over the cushion. Opened the door. Henderson got by as he got into turn 3 and 4. Both of them around the out of 1 and 2, holding him off.
Justin Henderson now up to third as Joey Saldana shows the way. Saldana in the Dodge Mopar number 9 at the halfway point with an 82/100th of a second advantage over Randy Hannigan, turning laps in the upper 14-second bracket at over 121 miles per hour.
And I should mention they won the overall Snap-on Challenge. There were 3 segments of it. The crew, Willie Kane right there, Joey Saldana winning that challenge.
Joey Saldana looking to hold on to the third spot in the point standings here this evening, leading it by 30 over Darren Pittman. That spot's still very much up for grabs in the main event.
And you talked about it in the open of our show tonight, interviewed those guys. Pittman thought he might have a chance last night. Both those guys kind of unusual, have U-joint problems. Of course, Joey's early, and then Pittman's on the first lap of the main last night.
Car a little sideways out of turn number 4. Jesse Whitney gathers it back up. Meanwhile, we see the white flag for your race leader, Joey Saldana. One more lap to go.
Hannigan closing in on him.
Joey about to deal with some slower traffic, allowing Randy Hannigan an opportunity here into the final corner. Saldana down low. Hannigan's going to try him on the high side of the speedway. Off of the final corner, Joey Saldana will hang on to win heat race number 2.
Okay, on the Optima Batteries results page, Joey Saldana takes the checkered flag with Randy Hannigan, Justin Henderson, and Gary Lee Mayer on their way to the A main. The rest, they're going to the last chance qualifiers.
We qualified 10th and got us into the A, and so hopefully we can get a good run tonight. We had a good run from 18th last night, from 18th to 5th. Just ran out of time, so hopefully we can put another good run in tonight.
More exciting heat racing action when we return to Las Vegas. Welcome back to the World of Outlaws at the dirt track at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We're in the midst of qualifying heats. Heat number 3 on the track right now. Two-time winner of the season, Terry McCarl, will be on the pole. Zach Chappell, he's next to him on the front row. Roger Crockett and Chad Kimmerer, the leading candidate for Rookie of the Year in row 2. Tony Lucar and Dion Hindy, Barry Hill and Carlson, Martinez and Stallings rounding out the field. Here's Johnny.
T-Mac and Zach Chappell get into the throttle now, and heat race number 3 is underway. Chappell's car doesn't take off very well. Terry McCarl able to get the big jump, and Dion Hindy making the big move in the 11D. Hindy up into a transfer spot.
Well, we saw Chappell try. Oh, look at 3 wide.
3 wide for the transfer position. Chad Kemenon and Dion Hindy get by the 11 of Roger Crockett in a daring maneuver at the end of the back straightaway. So Dion Hindy up. No, trouble on the front straightaway. Car into the wall. It's Barry Martinez in the 66. He keeps it fired, but the caution lights come on. Restart with 1 lap in the books. Terry McCarl back underway down the front straightaway. Watching Zach Chappell try to make his move on the high side of the speedway. Chappell, a new ride for him. The Cantor Oil Company 8K now ducks to the inside of McCarl. They're side by side into turn number 4. Chappell and McCarl still wheel to wheel, and now Chappell out in front.
That's incredible, Johnny. Chappell's car stuck.
Caution waving. We've got trouble in turns 3 and 4. The 83M of Mike Stallings spins to a stop between the corners. Back underway at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Zach Chappell feeling pressure on the inside of the speedway from Terry McCarl, but Chappell's got that car working really well up on the cushion, Brad.
That car is really working well anywhere. Now he goes to the bottom. He told me yesterday he's going to try to run the full World of Outlaws schedule next year.
Zach Chappell in the Cantor Oil Company 8K leading it over Terry McCarl. Little bit under half a second the advantage. Now watching the race for the final transfer spot. Roger Crockett all over Dion Hindy as they make their way into turn 3. Crockett dives down to the inside. Hindy tries to keep the momentum up on the high side of the speedway. Side by side, Hindy able to hang on.
Well, Crockett has to be frustrated if he doesn't get back by Hindy. Started in third position. Finds himself out of a transfer spot right now, going after Hindy on the bottom.
Hindy this time ducks down to the low side to enter turn 3, but drifts high out of turn number 4. Crockett down on the low side of the racetrack. Hindy hanging on. We've got 3 laps to go here in heat race number 3. Oh, Roger Crockett right through the slick stuff in turn 2 there, Brad. Spun the rear wheels and lost a lot of ground.
That's what, oh, we got a car slowing.
It is your leader. It's the 8K of Zach Chappell. Chappell with problems out of turn number 4, slowing, and we will see the caution flag appear back on the speedway.
Smoke out of that car, just speculation, probably a blown engine the way he's rolling down the front straightaway.
Field tightens up behind leader Terry McCarl as he brings us back under green flag conditions. Watching Roger Crockett on the high side of the speedway in that yellow number 11 car. Crockett takes advantage of the engine problems for leader Zach Chappell and now moves into the transfer spot in that Cross Creek Trucking number 11. White flag flying, 1 lap to go. Aaron Berryhill trying to make a move on Crockett. Berryhill on the high side. Nobody making a move on Terry McCarl. T-Mac pulling away into the final corner. And under the checkered flag is the winner of heat race number 3, Terry McCarl.
Thanks, Johnny and Brad. On the Optima Batteries results page, Terry McCarl takes it all the way, gets the checkered flag. Chad Kemenon, Dion Hindy, and Roger Crockett accompanying him to the A main.
You know, big game tree stands, Boswell Pulte. Richard Brenneman and Sharon, his wife, have been real inspirational behind us running this whole year, and we'd just like to win one for them.
Now here's the starting lineup for our final qualifying heat of the evening. Heat number 4. On the pole, Becca Anderson. Next to her in that front row is a former Outlaws Rookie of the Year, Shane Stewart. Young Tony Bruce Jr. in row 2, along with Jason Sowald. Right Bun Construction's Jack Hottenshield and Brent Krampus in row 3. In row 4, it's Johnson and Lint. Steve Parker rounds out the field. Here's Johnny.
Final heat race goes green with Becca Anderson to the inside and Shane Stewart outside the drag race down the front stretch. Becca down low, Shane Stewart momentum on the cushion, and it'll be Shane Stewart grabbing the lead. Becca Anderson now wheel to wheel with the R19 of Jason Sowald fighting for second.
And Hottenshield had to move around the outside of Tony Bruce to move into the final transfer spot. Got a car spinning in turn 3.
David Lynn Jr. keeps the engine fired for now. We stay green. Lynn's had problems all night long, had a fuel shutoff problem earlier in warm-ups, could not get the car to fire, and now finds himself in trouble in 3 and 4 in the opening lap of heat race number 4. Out in front, Shane Stewart leading it over Becca Anderson, Jason Sowald, and Jack Hottenshield in the final transfer spot. Now the battle for second heats up. Becca Anderson and Jason Sowald going at it. Anderson, oh, trouble! It is Shane Stewart, your leader. Shane Stewart got into it with the slower car of David Lint Jr., and they tangle and wind up against the outside wall in turn number 4, and Shane Stewart is not very happy. Shane Stewart having some words for the driver of car number 52, and really can't blame him. Dave Lint not very well in control of that 52 car here in this heat race.
Obviously Shane Stewart not very happy. Car owner Guy Forbrook's not going to be very happy.
Becca Anderson puts the right foot down, brings the field back to green. Sowald dives down to the inside, but can't make the slide job work in 1 and 2, and now Hottenshield's got some momentum. Jack Hottenshield up to challenge Jason Sowald for the second spot.
Well, Hottenshield got the momentum as Sowald went to the bottoms. We saw Crockett earlier. Sowald got stuck in the slick part of the racetrack, had some wheel spin. Now he's holding Hottenshield off, though.
Becca Anderson, Jason Sowald, and Jack Hottenshield, your top 3. Now Hottenshield again trying to find a way around Sowald's citywide insulation machine, but can't get it done out of turn number 2. Going to try the high side again in 3 and 4. Jason Sowald up there to block Hottenshield's progress, allowing Becca Anderson to open up a lead of nearly 7/10 of a second. But Becca puts the right rear in the slick stuff, spins the wheels, and now Sowald all over Anderson in the battle for the lead.
Oh boy, yeah, there I thought he was going to slide up in front of him. He did not have her cleared. Smart move on his part to back out and let her go by.
Jason Sowald tried to take the lead from Becca Anderson, couldn't make it happen in 1 and 2. Finds the low line again in 3 and 4, 6 laps down, 2 laps to go in the final heat race. Sowald trying to find some moisture coming in on the bottom of the speedway, but we've got caution on the racetrack. Brandon Johnson has spun and backed it up against the wall between 3 and 4. Back to green. Anderson, Sowald, Hottenshield, and Tony Bruce. Again, Jason Sowald tries the low line in a bid to take the lead for Becca Anderson, able to stay right with her down the backstretch. Sowald again to the bottom in 3 and 4. Becca Anderson on the cushion. They come to the white flag, and Jason Sowald will take the lead.
I thought he was going to try the slide job, but again, he'd been so fast, Johnny, off the bottom of 3 and 4. He did not try the slide job. He stayed on the bottom and obviously drove right by her coming out of 4.
And driving away into the final corner, Doug Clark has the checkered flag in hand, and Jason Sowald is the driver who sees it first in heat race number 4.
Thanks, Johnny. On the Optima Batteries results page, Jason Sowald wins his battle with Becca Anderson. Anderson holding on to second. Jack Hottenshield and Tony Bruce Jr. also on their way to the A main. Jason, 7th last night. Better tonight?
I think so. We switched motors, and this citywide insulation car is really going good tonight.
Well, the qualifying process continues with the Dash and the B main when we return. Welcome back to the World of Outlaws, action from Las Vegas. The top 4 from last night's preliminary feature lead off the grid sheet for tonight's 6-lap dash to determine the first 5 rows, including tonight's pole sitter. On the front row of the dash, Brooke Tatnall and Craig Delansky. Then it's Danny Lasowski and Paul McMahon in row 2. Row 3 has Donnie Schatz, Justin Henderson, Chad Kavanaugh, Jason Sowald, and Tony Bruce Jr. And rounding out the field, Roger Crockett. Take it away, Johnny.
Dash action is underway. Brooke Tatnall and Craig Delansky down to the green flag, but it's Paul McMahon who gets a great start up on the inside of the speedway. Delansky to the cushion. McMahon tried to take second, but Delansky has it and now goes after leader Brooke Tatnall.
And Henderson gets by McMahon down the back straight. Look at that. Delansky slide up across the racetrack, though. In that slick part, we talked about it earlier. Look at the ground he lost to Tatnall.
Brooke Tatnall, Craig Delansky, then Justin Henderson, Paul McMahon, and Danny Lasowski, the top 5 in the dash. Now Henderson coming after your second-place driver, Craig Delansky. Justin Henderson, the World of Outlaws rookie, trying to take the second spot from the crowd pleaser out of turn number 4. Couldn't quite get the job done there.
And Justin Henderson started 6th in this, Johnny. He is awesome fast right now.
Justin Henderson on the move to the inside of Craig Delansky there, wheel-to-wheel into turn number 3. Henderson ducks down low, slides up to take the racing groove away, and Justin Henderson will move into the second spot.
And the thing about Justin Henderson, Johnny, he was fast on the top of 1 and 2 right here. He's fast on the bottom of 3 and 4. That race car, his dad, Rod, really has that thing working. He can run it anywhere on the racetrack he wants to.
Just past the halfway point, 4 laps down, 2 laps to go. Brooke Tatnall leading, Justin Henderson second, Craig Delansky in third, Paul McMahon fourth, Danny Lasowski fifth, then Donnie Schatz in sixth, Jason Solwald in seventh, running eighth, Roger Crockett, then Chad Kavanaugh, Tony Bruce Jr. Field works their way through 3 and 4, and now Paul McMahon reeling in Craig Delansky just a bit, still about 6 car lengths behind the Caravan Trailers number 7 as we work the final lap in the dash. Brooke Tatnall looking to pick up where he left off last night. He's gonna win the dash and start on the pole for the feature event, and the rookie Justin Henderson will be outside the front row.
Okay, Johnny and Brad, on the Optima Batteries results page, Brooke Tatnall will be our pole sitter for the A main, taking the checkered flag in the dash. Justin Henderson, much improved over the season. He'll be on that front row with Tatnall taking second in the dash. Then it's Delansky, McMahon, Lasowski, Schatz, Solwald, Crockett, Kavanaugh, and Tony Bruce Jr.
Justin Henderson, the guy that passed 4 cars in the short distance of a dash, including Delansky. Nice run.
Yeah, it's never easy to pass Craig Delansky, especially in a dash, but he's usually set on kill. But the Jolt Energy Gum, Dandy, and the Sonic Man Schnee was really fast. Dad's motor was running probably the best it's ever run, so it was definitely tuned to kill. So we're very happy with the frame and obviously very happy with the owner.
We just got to capitalize on it. Last night I screwed the initial start up, so I just got to make sure I don't do that again tonight. So now looking forward to the car's really working well. You know, just as I say, once again, the dedication to this team, and you know, we want to win this one for the boss.
The World of Outlaws finish up this season with heavy hearts. Ted Johnson, the founder of the series and the man who got together a collection of the best sprint car racers on the planet, died last weekend after a long bout with cancer. It was his dedication to the sport and its stars that helped guide the series through thick and thin times to become the premier dirt track series in the world. It's more than likely there would have never been a World of Outlaws if it hadn't been for Ted's love and passion for the sport.
I enjoy this and I enjoy being around it. Of course, we started the World of Outlaws and I see the World of Outlaws grow.
To honor Ted, Dirt Motorsports will be giving an annual Ted Johnson Award in recognition of an outstanding contribution to sprint car racing.
Sprint car racing has lost one of its most colorful characters and most influential innovators and leaders. At this time, we'll observe a moment of silence in memory of Ted Johnson.
Art Ekman, Johnny Gibson, and Brad Doty, welcome back. We're at the dirt track at Las Vegas Motor Speedway with World of Outlaws action. We're getting set now for the B main, which is the last chance qualifier. Only 4 spots remain open to get into that main event. On the pole, Chad Hilliard. Next to him in the front row will be Jeff Hodgson, Sather, and Lutar. In row 3, Whitney. Then it's Krampus, Rose and Mosier, Gray, Ballou, Carlson, and Martinez. Berryhill, Gregg, Parker, Hernandez, Botsford, and Stallings. Let's go to Johnny upstairs.
Thanks, Art. The B main is ready to get underway. Chad Hilliard and Jeff Hodgson bring them down to the green. Chad Hilliard goes to the bottom. Jeff Hodgson down low as well. Brent Kronfuss up to third. And right now the battle for the final transfer spot finds James Mosher sneaking to the inside of Tony Lutar. Mosher down there on the bottom in that Isotopes Brewing Company 12M. He moves into the transfer position.
And I thought Mosher was going to try the old-fashioned slide job, but so we saw earlier with Solwald. He stuck to the bottom. Now he goes by the 9 car on the bottom.
Trouble in turn number 1. Aaron Berryhill sideways in the 97. The caution flag waves. Ready for the green flag once again. Still 11 laps to go in this B main. Chad Hilliard and Jeff Hodgson. Now Robert Ballou makes the big move on the high side of the speedway. Ballou around Mosher into the transfer spot, also past Tony Lutar, and now ducks to the inside of Brent Kronfuss.
Yeah, Mosher went in behind the 9 car, got stuck right behind him, and Ballou gets by both of them.
Robert Ballou now into the transfer spot, but here comes Mosher. Mosher to the inside of Ballou, actually racing for the 3rd spot there. Both drivers in transfer positions as Brent Kronfuss is the man now on the outside looking in.
And Blue started back about in 12th spot, so both these guys right there battling started pretty deep in this field.
Robert Ballou on the cushion in the Gardemeyer Carpentry GP Development car number 12.
Got a car slowdown coming off of turn 2, but I'm thinking they're going to try to get off the racetrack.
Ben Gregg in the body of change 22B, the Arizona driver, coasting very slowly on the inside of the racetrack, looking to get to the infield, not sure he's going to make it. And now the caution lights, no, don't come on yet. We're still to stay green for now. Out in front, Chad Hillier in the DeWitt Racing Industries car number 5C, and now the caution lights come on for Ben Gregg, who was unable to make it off of the speedway. Chad Hillier out of Burlington, Washington, back down the front straightaway and back under green flag conditions in the B main. 4 laps down, 8 laps to go. Hillier leading it. Watching Robert Ballou work the high side of the speedway. He is in that 4th and final transfer spot. Right behind him, Tony Lutar.
You saw Lutar get by the 9 car. Tony Lutar, a couple of vicious crashes here. He finds himself out of a transfer spot here, but if he could just get locked in the A main or get through this B main clean, that'd be a good run for him. He's had some terrible crashes here in Las Vegas.
Robert Ballou now trying to reel in your second place runner, Jeff Hodgson, not having a whole lot of success out of the corner. Meanwhile, James Mosher down on the low side of the speedway, still occupying that 4th and final transfer position, and about a half a straightaway back to Lutar, who runs in 5th with Brent Kronfuss in 6th. Willie Hernandez now up to 7th. Hernandez and Kronfuss nearly get together out of turn number 2. Close call there out of the second corner.
And Hillier, the leader there, out front comfortably. He's got his brake rotors pretty red hot, riding the brakes, trying to keep the car turned as he goes through the corners, very comfortably out front.
Well, Chad Hillier won a couple of feature events this year at the Skagit Speedway in Alger, Washington, part of a large Northwestern contingent with us for the 2006 finale here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Jeff Hodgson, another one of those drivers from St. Albert, Alberta, Canada, in the 2nd spot. And Hodgson pretty comfortable in front of that 12 of Robert Ballou. Ballou very impressive here in this B main.
But Hillier, the leader, coming up, getting by the 23 as he gets into 1. Some lap car slides up across to the cushion there, coming out of turn 2.
Less than 3 laps to go for Chad Hillier. Hillier spent the 2005 season as a crew member on a World of Outlaws team, and now finds himself out in front of a B main at their 2006 season finale.
And people might question, why is he riding the brakes, or why are the brakes so red hot when he's out front like that? A couple things. It helps turn the car getting through the corner, but also you can help control wheel spin. You can actually ride the brake pedal coming off the corners to help control the wheel spin of the rear tires.
Well, out of turn number 4 down to the white flag. Half a mile to go for Chad Hillier in front of the B main. Jeff Hodgson still in 2nd, Ballou in 3rd, and James Mosher in that 4th and final transfer spot. Those drivers fairly comfortable in those positions as we work the final lap in the final corner for Chad Hillier. Checkered flag on the B. Chad Hillier gets the win in the Dirt Incorporated 5C.
Okay, Johnny and Brad, here's the Optima Batteries results page for the B main. Chad Hillier takes the checkers. Jeff Hodgson, Robert Ballou, and James Mosher, they're on their way to the A main. It's pack up the holler for the rest of the 14 teams.
I gotta thank Dave DeWitt. You know, he gives me a great car here, and HB Jagger and Jansman Construction and Becker's Welding. You know, everybody helps out, and of course the guys that came out here on the road with me, I gotta thank them a lot.
The field is now set for tonight's A main. Brooke Tatnall goes for the sweep, winning last night's preliminary feature. He's on the pole for the 30-lap A main coming up when we return. The World of Outlaws on the Outdoor Channel is being brought to you by Optima Batteries, B&W Custom Truck Beds, Advance Auto Parts, Eckerd Pharmacies, and by PartyPoker.com.
Number 15, Parker Stores, Minot, North Dakota.
It's Jason Solwald and Roger Crockett in row 4. On the inside of row 5 from the main 15,
Chad Kemino, driver of the UUI 15, Findlay, Ohio.
On the outside of row 5, next to this year's leading rookie, is Tony Bruce Jr. 2 drivers from the main 15 hold down spots in row 6.
Randy Hannigan. Hi, I'm Darren Pittman, driver of the Titan Garages and Carports number 21 from Owasso, Oklahoma.
It's a mean 15 rows starting in 13th and 14th.
Jeremy Campbell, number 10 seed.
And Joey Saldana. Row 8 finds 2 more mean 15ers.
I'm Becky Anderson, driver of the number 19 Woodring Racing.
Terry McCarl, Big Game Tree Stands number 24, Altoona, Iowa.
Then it's Gary Lee Mayer and Chad Hillier in row 9. Next on the inside of row 10, it's Jeff Hodgson. On the outside of that row from the mean 15, Jack Hottenshield. Row 11 finds 2 more from the mean 15.
Jason Martin, Dion Hindi, 11D.
James Mosher and Robert Ballou round out the field for the World of Outlaws season's finale. For the race call, let's go upstairs now to Johnny Gibson and Brad Doty. Take it away, guys.
Thank you, Art. The final A-main of 2006 about to get underway. Brooke Tatnall and Justin Henderson side by side out of the fourth corner, and we are green. Tatnall to the bottom, Henderson up on the cushion. Tatnall drifts high. Henderson gets loose out of turn number 2 as Tatnall nearly got into him, falls back to fourth as Craig Delansky and Paul McMahon get by.
Well, Justin Henderson on the outside did not want to get out of the throttle and got way high, got up in the loose stuff. Look at that, cars going by, really shook that car loose as he came out of turn 2.
Donnie Schatz gets by.
Oh, we got a spin, Jason Solwald.
Jason Solwald collected by Roger Crockett. Solwald is upside down and we're red. Ready for the restart. Brooke Tatnall, a nice run down the front straightaway. Paul McMahon to the inside of Craig Delansky. There's a battle for the second spot. McMahon and Delansky wheel to wheel down the backstretch. Now McMahon goes to the high side in 3 and 4.
A little crossover action there. McMahon off the bottom, turned the car. Now he's going to try to get back under him.
Delansky spun the wheels and the slick stuff out of turn 4, gets back to the bottom in 1 and 2, and now pulls away from McMahon. McMahon up above the cushion just a bit in the second corner.
Boy, and I thought they were going to make contact as they went into turn 1. They've been swapping back and forth, swapping the line back and forth, I should say. I thought one of those trade-offs they were going to get together as they got into turn 1.
We're watching Donnie Schatz now make a move on Paul McMahon. Schatz to the inside, easily by the Bass Pro Shops number 20, and Paul McMahon back to fourth as Donnie Schatz climbs to third. Danny Lasowski gets by Justin Henderson to move into the top 5.
McMahon had gotten in a little high. We saw about jumped the cushion there, and that opened the door for Schatz to get by. Then we see the 83 get by, but there's the leader, Brooke Tatnall.
Oh, trouble on the front straightaway. Terry McCarl off the pace. Looks like he made some contact with the outside wall on the front stretch. We see some debris on the high side in turn number 1.
Looks like the left rear torsion arm is or the shock is bounced off that car.
We'll sort things out and be back with more from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Welcome back to the dirt track at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, where Brooke Tatnall continues to lead, but Schatz and Delansky are in pursuit. Here's Johnny and Brad.
Back to green flag racing with 4 laps down and 26 circuits remaining.
Johnny might have noticed leader Brooke Tatnall when it started the rule state, wherever the leader goes, everybody had to follow in single file on the top.
Donnie Schatz gets by Craig Delansky on the low side in 1 and 2, and Donnie Schatz is now up to second. Tonight's fastest qualifier, who started 6th in the main event on a mission, and now up into the 4th spot goes Danny Lasowski in the Roth Motorsports 83 as he gets by Paul McMahon.
Well, you talked about it earlier. Donnie Schatz maybe wanting to put an exclamation point on this championship by pulling off the win, going after Tatnall. Now he's on the bottom of the racetrack.
Gaining ground on Tatnall as they complete lap number 6. Tatnall leading it by 74 100ths of a second, but Schatz closing in down the back straightaway.
Closing in fast, too. Look at that. At corner speed, he catches him going into turn 3. We see the rest of the field right there, closing in fast.
Race for the lead into 1 and 2. Donnie Schatz down low. Schatz will pass Brooke Tatnall. You've got a new race leader, or no you don't. Tatnall drives it back by him on the outside of the speedway.
Wheel spin. Donnie Schatz coming off at turn 2. Wheel spin off the bottom. Tatnall with a nice run to momentum on the outside. Here comes Schatz again.
What a great battle for the lead out in front of the field. Donnie Schatz to the inside of Brooke Tatnall. This time Schatz makes the pass stick out of turn number 2, and Donnie Schatz will take over into 3 and 4.
That time Schatz, oh, he gets a little sideways out of 4, but that time Schatz made sure he stayed tight off the bottom, but he did get loose in 3 and 4.
Donnie Schatz, the leader at lap number 9. Brooke Tatnall up to the high side in 1 and 2, trying to reel him back in. Craig Delansky still in the 3rd spot. Danny Lasowski 4th and Paul McMahon in 5th. Now Tatnall around the outside of Schatz out of turn number 4. Side by side for the lead down the front straightaway.
When the lap before you said Tatnall went high, he sure did. He jumped there. He's a real high again. All 4 wheels above the cushion.
Heavy traffic now coming into play for the race leader. Donnie Schatz catches up with James Mosher and Robert Ballou, the 12 and in the 12. He splits the pair coming out of turn number 4. Great move there.
And that is tough to do on a slick racetrack. Daniel Lasowski with trouble.
Lasowski with a broken front end on that car slides it to the infield, the Roth Motorsports 83, and we stay green. He is far enough off the racetrack.
And I would say that has to be, he probably clipped an infield tire. They have to implement tires to mark the corner of the racetrack. I'd say Daniel Lasowski bumped it with a left front wheel, knocked the front axle out, slid to the infield. We're still under green.
Donnie Schatz working the traffic with Brooke Tatnall running 2nd, Craig Delansky 3rd, Darren Pittman now up to 4th, and Paul McMahon in 5th. Tatnall trying to hang with the race leader as Darren Pittman and Paul McMahon go at it. Now McMahon trying to catch back up with Pittman, but Pittman is up into 4th. Darren Pittman knows he's got a shot at 3rd in the point standings here this evening as well, trying to gain as many positions as he can to finish in front of Joey Saldana.
We had a shot of Tatnall going to the bottom of lap cars there. Back to the leader.
Donnie Schatz on the low side of the speedway. The Parker Stores 15 now beginning to check out, has built a lead of over 2 seconds. This time by, we will be halfway home, 15 laps complete, 15 laps remaining. Watching Darren Pittman work through the traffic in the Titan Garages 21.
Well, you talked about it a couple times there, Johnny, about the point battle between him and Joey Saldana, rather. Keep an eye on that battle. Meanwhile,
Joey now to the inside of the slower car of Robert Ballou. Joey Saldana running in the 6th position, so just 2 spots separating Darren Pittman and Joey Saldana, and maybe just 1 spot now as McMahon gets back to the inside of the Titan Garages 21.
But Pittman has the run on the outside. There's Becca Anderson, the lap car on the inside. Yeah, McMahon has to go to the outside of her going into turn 3.
Paul McMahon on the cushion, Darren Pittman down low. Watching a battle for the 4th position. Darren Pittman has it. McMahon was there formerly. And Donnie Schatz continuing to pull away and just dominate this feature here on the closing night of the 2006 season. Lead still about 2 seconds over Brooke Tatnall.
Interesting thing there, Johnny. The crew chief, Ricky Warner, on this car, the season they've had, the success, a lot of rumors going on that he's getting a lot of phone calls, a lot of job offers next year for Ricky Warner. Some big decisions being made there on that team.
Caution flag waves on the speedway. We've got the 19 of Becca Anderson spun to the inside of the racetrack over in turn number 2.
We'll sort things out and be right back with more from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Welcome back to the dirt track at Las Vegas Motor Speedway in the world of Outlaws. Back with a race call, Johnny Gibson and Brad Doty.
Field back under green at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Donnie Schatz leading the final event of the season, started in the 6th spot. Another driver who has been coming on strong throughout this feature event is Jack Hodenshield in the Right One Construction car number 35. Hodenshield started in the 20th position. He is up to 8th with 11 laps remaining and working the high side of the speedway out of turn number 4.
And I think if he gets by the 18 on the inside of him, that moves him up to 7th around Tony Bruce there. As he thought he was going to split the middle, but he had to go back to the cushion.
Jack Hodenshield working the cushion, charging from 20th up to 7th, gets by the slower car of Jeff Hodgson, continues to roll around the top side of this half-mile oval.
Over the cushion there, turn the car down off a little bit there, but Bruce gets back by on the inside. You can see him there.
Tony Bruce Jr. down low, Jack Hodenshield on the top of the racetrack. A battle for the 7th position. Remember, Hodenshield started back on the outside of row number 10.
And meanwhile, as we predicted, that on the restart, Schatz, the leader, did check out, so we're watching Hodenshield here battling. There is Schatz pulling away again.
Schatz works the low side out of turn 4. Brooke Tatnall got a glimpse of the nose of the race out. There's number 8 on the cushion. Lead is 1.5 seconds with 7 laps remaining. And Hodenshield right to the middle of the speedway, trying to split a couple of cars there, including the slower machine of Gary Lee Meyer. But Chad Kemenaugh makes the pass. Kemenaugh up to 8th.
Kemenaugh getting by there. Hodenshield maybe battling the tires, maybe heating up.
Chad Kemenaugh had gotten by Jack Hodenshield. Hodenshield really bobbled the front end of that car out of turn number 4 the last time.
Sure did. Really had to look right rear up on the cushion, and the car took a big push on him there. Kemenaugh back by on the inside.
Out in front of the field, still Donnie Schatz over Brooke Tatnall, Craig Delansky, Darren Pittman, and Paul McMahon. Schatz continuing to work the traffic to the inside of Robert Ballou out of turn number 4. We've got 4 laps to go.
Well, crew chief Ricky Warner said, you know, the success they're having, maybe getting some job offers there, but all these guys, drivers, crew chiefs, everybody, they look at this last race as kind of an audition for next year, where the driver's looking for a job or the team's looking for sponsorship. Everybody wants to finish on a high note here on this final race.
Brooke Tatnall goes to the low side of Gary Lee Meyer. Lead down to 1.1 seconds. Donnie Schatz spun the wheels out of turn number 2. Here comes Tatnall. We're going to have a race yet before this one's over. Tatnall the cushion in 3 and 4. Donnie Schatz still on the low side of the racetrack. 2 laps to go. Schatz pulled away down the front stretch that time. Oh, problems for Delansky. Delansky's hit the infield tire marker, broken the front end of the Caravan Trailer 7. He bolts to the inside of the speedway, and trouble now right behind him. Jeff Hodgson spinning the V8, trying to keep the engine fired as the white flag flies for Donnie Schatz. Hodgson still has the engine fired on that car, still doing the 360s, but it's Donnie Schatz out of turn number 2 and down the backstretch for the final time, right on the back bumper of the Penthouse Magazine 1X for Randy Hannigan. And out of the fourth corner to the checkered flag, Donnie Schatz is the champion, and he wins the final night at Las Vegas.
Boy, and Donnie got really loose there. If anybody had been close to him that could have gotten by, he really got loose out of turn 4.
Donnie Schatz wins by 1.666 seconds. He not only wins his 17th main of the season, but also takes home the World of Outlaws Championship trophy. We'll be back with the Optima Batteries results page, the final championship points, and words from the champion after this. The World of Outlaws on the Outdoor Channel is being brought to you by Optima Batteries, B&W Custom Truck Beds, Advance Auto Parts, Eckert Pharmacies, and by PartyPoker.com.
Can't get enough dirt motorsports racing action? Get your Dirt Vision Cyber Pass, the premium online subscription for DirtVision.com. Yeah! Live race notes, timing and scoring, text chat with others. Also gain access to our on-demand video archive. Go to DirtVision.com. Click the Cyber Pass link. Choose the subscription that's right for you, and you are off to the races. The Dirt Vision Cyber Pass, fully interactive. Yeah!
Welcome back to the dirt track at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, where Donnie Schatz concludes the World of Outlaws racing season like the champion he is. Taking a look at the Optima Batteries results page, Brooke Tacknell, after leading the first 8 laps, holds on to his 27th top 5 of the season. Coming from 12th to take 3rd is Darren Pittman. Rounding out the top 5 is Paul McMahon. It's a career best for Tony Bruce Jr. in 6th. Hottenshield started in 20th and ended up in 7th. Henderson took Rookie of the Race honors in front of Campbell and Kavanaugh. Craig Delansky, who raced in the top 3 for 27 of the 30 laps, bears the brunt of bad luck, finishing at 18th. Let's hear from the top 3.
You know, I think we had the car to beat all weekend. Schatz was good tonight, but, we just had a part failure last night, and, that's probably only the 3rd DNF we've had because of parts failure, and that's 3 too many, but it's probably about 3 or 4 less than every other team out here. So my crew does a great job, and we've got a lot of reliability in this entire car and entire team. So we're pumped about that. Good finish, good way to finish the year. If we would have kind of got locked in last night like we should have without falling out, we think we would have had a little something for him. But, 3rd is good, and congrats to them.
Congratulations to the guy. He's gone out the best way a champion can go out, and, he's a deserving winner of the championship this year and tonight. But, take nothing away from my guys. This race outfit is still Dreams team, Rush Racing guys. We've had a good year. Just not as good as what we expected and hoped for, but we'll be back again.
It's been an awesome year. Can't say enough about these guys that worked on this race car. It takes a lot of effort from everybody. Everybody at Parker Stores, I got to thank them for their big effort. They were as big a part of this as anybody, and everybody that stood behind me from day one. Dick Bellerud, my family, everybody that's here. My whole family's here this weekend, so we're going to enjoy this and get to go out with a bang.
Looking at the championship standings, tonight's win simply confirms once again the effectiveness of Donnie Schatz and the Parker Stores team, winning the series championship by 364 points and taking home a bonus check for the championship for $200,000. Picking up the $100,000 for second, Craig Delansky. Then it's Saldana edging Pittman for 3rd place money. Pittman just 28 points behind. Then it's Hottenshield, Tacknell, and Kavanaugh, with Henderson moving ahead of the hard luck McCarl into 8th place. Campbell is the 2nd rookie in the top 10. Chad Kavanaugh wins this season. The Kevin Gorbrook Rookie of the Year, presented by Maxim Racing and Butler Built. Chad's winning margin was by 244 points in the final tally. Justin Henderson, finishing the season strong, takes 2nd, with Campbell, Martin, and Anderson the order. The stands have emptied. Art Ekman along with Johnny Gibson and Brad Doty. Brad, the season, I think, ended appropriately.
Yeah, it sure did. Donnie Schatz, the champion this year, winning the race tonight, putting it to him, kind of proved that he is a deserving champion this year.
We did have a very competitive season, but Donnie seemed to come out on top all the way.
Yeah, I think Donnie Schatz proved in 2006 he is indeed the best sprint car driver in the country. 17 World of Outlaws feature wins, a Knoxville Nationals victory, and what better way to cap it off than to win here in Vegas tonight?
Guys, this is our final telecast for the Outdoor Channel and the Outlaws.
Hard to believe it's been a quick 3 years, and I want to thank the Outdoor Channel for putting the World of Outlaws back on TV. Of course, Aero Effects, the production company, all the camera people, all the behind-the-scenes people putting this show together. Get to work with you, Art Ekman, Johnny Gibson this year. It's been a great 3 years.
It's been fun, Johnny.
It certainly has. As the newcomer to this group, this experience has certainly exceeded my expectations. I've had a great time working with you and Brad, and who knows, maybe we can do this again sometime.
Art Ekman, for Johnny and Brad, thanking you for being with us all season long right here on the Outdoor Channel. So long, everybody.